This how-to video is going to be on how to remove a chain case. Reasons you'd move a chain case is obviously if it's damaged, if you want to get in there and change any gearing, chains, check things out, and if your sled has 4 drive cogs on it, meaning if you look underneath it and the cogs that drive the track, if there's 4 of them on there, you'll need to remove the whole chain case in order to change a track. Otherwise, you still will need to remove the gears and chain in order to remove the track. So, first thing you want to do is, there's typically 4 or 5 bolts. This is a Polaris, but they're typically all about the same. 4 or 5 bolts on the face of this that'll remove the cover. Remember, before you remove this cover, there's about 8 ounces of fluid in here, which some sleds have a drain plug on the bottom of the belly pan. If you look, you can look there and drain it from there. Otherwise, you can use an oil evacuation tool and have it sucked out from there. So first thing you want to do is remove these 4 bolts after you have the oil. The next step would be to remove the gears and the chain. So the first thing you want to do is remove a lot of these. Most of them have some sort of cotter pin. Remove the cotter pin, and the bolts that are left down there sometimes are hand tight, but at this point too, the parking brake, or at least the brake, is going to be your friend. Otherwise, you could be working against it here. So remove the bolt with the nut rather. It's typically a washer. Remove it as well. Here's your chain tensioner. When this one is way too tight, and I'll get into chain tension here in a few minutes, but so now that you've got your nuts off, your bolt out of the bottom one, go ahead and loosen up your chain case tensioner. I would just pull it out all together, get it out of the way. Your next step is to remove the gears, and with any luck, sometimes you got to slide them off together. Hose in the way. Just slide the gears off, get them out of the way. Now at this point, if you're doing a track removal and your drive cog only has 2 drive cogs on it and they're in the center, you don't need to remove the whole chain case. If your drive cog has 4, however, at this point you'll need to go further and remove the entire chain case from the tunnel. So the next step on this particular model would be to remove the brake caliper, because it is attached to the top of the chain case. It's literally just these 2 bolts up here, and you will be removing whatever bolt holding the chain case on. Sometimes it's 4 or 5 bolts depending on the model. Skidoo is notorious for hiding them in crevices down here that you can't see. So be sure to check them all if it's real tight, and make sure you're not missing any. It does also make it easier, in order to get this chain case out, is to actually push all the bolts out of the chain case from through the tunnel or through this. And it's going to make life a lot easier if you either have the skid out of the suspension or skid out of the snowmobile, or at the very least loosen the track tension, because you'll be working against the track tension against your drive cog, and it'll make this a lot harder to get out. So